When I was invited to do the show, I was told that it was going to be about animals and it was going to be like a whimsical theme. And I am very inspired by my dog, and a lot of my artwork reflects on that. And so I decided to do a series of dog portraits, and the concept behind it is basically what would, like, if given a dog's personality and traits, what would their profession or hobby be? So that's kind of what this is. And because it's whimsical, it's just really fun. That's where like the light colors come in. And for the way it's done, it is done with wood burning and watercolors. So wood burning it's called pyrography, and it's using pine board. And so it's a really simple way to do it. It's just all the lines are wood burned, and then the color is watercolor. He is similar to my dog, and that's a Aussie cattle, so that's my favorite of all of these. So my background is actually in fashion, so that's kind of where all the clothes and stuff come in too. And I get inspired by pretty much anything that I see, like anything in nature, or again, clothes is like a really big thing. I get a lot of my colors and stuff from there. I think the show is actually really great. When I was first told, like the artists that were coming in, and when I had seen an example of their work, I was actually a little confused as to how it would all come together, because I didn't see how it would all fit in together. But coming here and seeing it in person, I think it looks really great, and I think it's great that it's open to the public, and the fact that it's in a community center, I think makes it even greater, because I noticed there's a lot of children walking through, and it like catches their eye, like each piece catches their eye for a different reason. So I think it's great that it's here. It inspires other people to create art as well.
So what these are, it's a type of art I do called splotch monsters. Basically what I do is I begin with kind of random watercolor paint splotches, and I'll let them dry over a period of time. And then I'll look at the papers from different angles and start adding different features like eyes or arms or legs. Now, with this particular exhibit, I decided that for an entire year I would focus on endangered animal species. So each image features a different kind of endangered animal that in some way is interacting with the splotch monsters. And I thought it'd be kind of a fun way to expose people to different kinds of animals. It was a really cool way for me to learn about animals I never heard of before. I'll start out usually with watercolor paints, and I'll just kind of loosely do paint splotches. I might pick the paper up and kind of blow on it, sprinkle salt on it, brush it off the next day. Sometimes I'll shift the paper around, I'll turn it around, and it's actually a very slow process. I'm not hurrying at all. And it's kind of a nice way to get rid of that blank white space right away. And it's kind of a stream of conscious approach to making art. And again, with these, they're a little more literal, because I did decide to interject these endangered animal species. And it's just kind of a neat way to expand my own visual vocabulary and learn how to draw animals I've never rendered before. It's just a way to keep creative. Making art on a daily basis keeps me happy, keeps me sane. And again, I teach, and I actually was teaching some, I guess in my art class, teaching students about endangered animal species, and I thought it'd be really cool to somehow merge that subject matter with art in a fun way that makes kids want to learn about endangered animals and different kinds of animal species. This is pretty amazing. I am so impressed with what Takoma Park does. I've never seen a community center that actually has these giant art shows. I mean, this is really very much like any art gallery that you would go to in DC or anywhere, really. And I love how it's curated by Shanti, how she finds artists to kind of have similar threads to their art, but yet differences as well, to create a really amazing, diverse exhibit. And I'm blown away by it all. I was in an exhibit here a couple years ago, and again, I couldn't believe how well it's done. I'm just very grateful to the city of Takoma Park for really fostering the arts in their community, and I'm very grateful to Shanti and all the other artists and to the people who come out to these events and support us. It's very important, I think.
These are exhibition of my latest paintings. I work in the tradition of surrealistic art and create some of the surrealistic techniques, such as exploring automatic sort of way of art making and free associations, and exploring the subconscious mind and creating a dreamlike world. I am most interested in human psychology, the emotional landscape of human emotions, but especially hope and despair that we all go through. In my work, I incorporate two characters from well-known children's stories, and they are Pinocchio and the Little Mermaid. And I use those characters to depict them in a imaginary and emotionally charged settings, and through that I try to express a wide range of human emotions. I am really, really honored and pleased to be showing my work at the Takoma Park Community Center here, because I know there are a lot of people who go through this center, and an event like this is wonderful because I get to meet people and hear how they, respond to my work.
I have the suspended birds, and this is the first time I've suspended them in an atrium space, so it was quite a challenge. And I had a few different ideas about how to hang them, and ended up having a friend make the plexiglass clouds that they hang from. His name is Blake Conroy. And so I spent time in my studio hanging the birds in a specific direction. I was hoping they'd fly in a specific direction, but they are randomly flying around. The birds are made out of clay, and then I cover them with graphite, powdered graphite. I polish that into the surface, that's why they're dark. And then some of them I cut strips of my drawings and wrap them around the birds. It's actually half paper and half clay, so it's a cellulose clay, which makes it really tough and really, really hard and durable and almost non-breakable. In this specific case, birds, and I mean birds in flight in particular, but I think that for people to have a connection with wildlife, birds are the closest thing to us in an urban setting, and so everybody has a connection to that, I think, and it just fills me with the idea of possibilities. This is a great location, and they're really good to the artists, offering us this, in particular, this unique space, which there aren't very many art galleries that can offer you an atrium, a 3-floor atrium, to experiment with. And this whole DC area, Maryland, DC, and Virginia, it's a great place for an artist. Thank you to Takoma Park for hosting this and for having us here.
It's called Bookworms y un ratón de biblioteca. And I made it when I was invited to show at the entrance of the library. I was looking for a subject, and then I found that idea, something related to books, and so I made my sculptures. Because of bookworms are all of us that love to read books. And as this is the entrance of the library, I call them bookworms. And in Spanish, we don't say bookworms, we say library mouse. So I use different kind of wires. It depends. When I need to make the ones that are like drawings, I use soft wire, the one that you use for construction. And when I need to have structure, I use the dry cleaning hangers. So it depends on what I need. Many different wires. What I see, what I hear, especially fun things. It's great to have people enjoying your art and to come and enjoy other people's art. Yeah, I love it. Thanks so much for inviting me here, and I'm happy to be at the Library of Takoma Park.